It is Celebrity Stack Thursday. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. This is Fire Your MD Now, the radio program where we pull back the curtain on all of the stuff that's going on with modern American medicine that's killing us. My job is to give you knowledge. My job is to inform you. My job is to give you advice about science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. Because drugs and surgery are bad? No. Drugs and surgery are like guns. It's how they're used. How they're used in the United States makes them the leading cause of death in the United States. Bringing a sick body to an MD with a chronic health condition is a fool's errand. We recommend you cancel your comprehensive medical insurance, buy catastrophic medical insurance instead. Educate yourself about the simple, easy things to do with diet change and vitamin and mineral supplementation, things that you can start right now today to recover your health with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery. If you want to call and talk to me live today, it's 866-582-9933. That's toll-free, right? 866-582-9933. You can also visit me 24/7 on the World Wide Web at Fire Your MD Now. And I mean it. I am as serious as a heart attack. Now, I am very excited and very happy today to introduce my celebrity, the guest on the radio show in the first segment today. This man is almost solely responsible for the phenomenal growth of Dr. Wallach's message and the Longevity Company in the first decade of its existence. His name is Michael Zwirling. He's coming to us direct from San Diego. Welcome aboard, Michael. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Glidden. How are you? Gosh, that's the first time I've ever been called a celebrity. I don't know how to deal with that.
Well, you've been under the radar for so long, Michael. It's time to shine a spotlight on the man behind the curtain, I think.
Well, you're very kind. Thank you. Actually, I'm in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz is often confused with San Diego. They both have very, very nice weather, but we're about 500 miles apart. We're closer to San Francisco, which is a very alternative, health-conscious part of the world.
Yeah, well, the whole West Coast is, quite frankly, and
yeah, that's true.
You know, yeah, it's true. And honestly, from my perspective, you know, as a licensed naturopath with a couple of decades of clinical experience under my belt, we talk a lot about the bad information that's given to us by conventional medicine, but quite frankly, Michael, there's just as much bad information, kind of shoddy research, kind of anecdotal stuff that happens in the holistic medical community. And this is one of the reasons why Dr. Wallach is such an important historical figure, because Dr. Wallach's method and Dr. Wallach's methodology grounds alternative medicine into a results-driven phenomenon. Dr. Wallach's, therapeutic interventions are not theoretical. Dr. Wallach's therapeutic interventions are based on millions of dollars of federally funded research, decades of boots on the ground in the field research, and then, decades of clinical experience. Man, it doesn't get any better than that, and
well,
you were one of the...
impressed with Doc when we first became aware of him back in November of 1994.
Yeah.
I have a station here in the Monterey Bay area, Monterey, Salinas, Santa Cruz, and Silicon Valley, San Jose, called KSCO Radio, and I guess Doc Wallach had somehow been told numerous times that this is an area that's particularly alternative health conscious, as we said, and it would be really good for him to get himself on the radio to do a 1 hour weekly, at least a 1 hour weekly alternative health call-in program. So that's how I became acquainted with Doc Wallach nearly 18 years ago.
And once Dr. Wallach started with you on the radio program, what happened?
Well, he started buying time from me from 7 to 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings on KSCO AM 1080, my station here in California, and it was unlike any other program I had ever heard. We sell infomercials, as do most radio stations, at off-peak, non-prime time hours. for people to sell things. They're like long, they're like 30-minute or 60-minute long commercials. And we do that quite regularly on the weekend, which is not considered the optimal prime, radio listening time, like morning and afternoon commutes during the week are considered prime radio time. And we noticed immediately that there was something very different about this gentleman who put on a program called Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the radio show. And I said, what a captivating name. Got to listen to this. And I listened, and it was like nothing I'd ever heard before. Where else can you get this kind of information that resonates with what's going on? People need to understand in an age when more than 50% of the commercials that you see on network television are to ask your doctor about this prescription drug or that prescription drug, and it takes, a good portion of the 60-second commercial for them to list all of the side effects. That oftentimes make you worse off than the original malady.
So
right?
What happened to the listenership once Doc was on the weekends?
It definitely went up, and the reason we know that it went up, the rating services, which we don't subscribe to, or I don't really put much stock in rating services because they're non-scientific. The internet provides much more scientific data about how many people are listening than broadcast radio. But we go by the fact that we started getting so many phone calls during the week saying we need to get that phone number or contact information, email address, fax number, whatever, for this doctor that you have on the weekend who's so fascinating. He's both a doctor of veterinary medicine and a people doctor. And we got so many calls from people during the week, and the more I listened to the program on Sunday morning, the more I heard people say, I took your advice, and thank God, God bless you. Every other medical doctor I've consulted has not only not helped me, more often than not, they've made me worse, and this and that. And you've made me better. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I know,
and I started hearing all these things, and it almost made you think that there were shills, but they couldn't be that many shills,
Yeah, right. That's the thing, right?
And plus what he said makes an awful lot of sense. So I knew Dr. Wallach for maybe close to 2 years before I realized that the business model that he employs is network marketing, where friends tell friends and so forth. There really isn't normally any advertising, any normal advertising. You get the word out by people, telling the story to other people. Well, Dr. Wallach was one in a million in that he decided that he was going to utilize the power of talk radio to get his message out a lot more efficiently.
Right.
And he did. Just on our station alone, and it's my understanding that back in those days, in the mid-'90s, 1994, 95, he was not only purchasing time on my station, but purchasing time on a station, I think, in another station in San Diego, a station in Palm Springs, anywhere where he heard that people are open to a message of alternative health.
Now, being the smart businessman that you are, you saw the opportunity here, and you became entered the radio station into Dr. Wallach's network and started generating.
That's true. After a couple of years, I happened to be spending some time with Doc Wallach, driving around looking at property. We both were interested in real estate, and we were looking at property all through Southern California. I was a real estate broker at the time. Not a very active one, but, I had a good background in real estate, and I offered to give him my opinion on some properties that he was contemplating purchasing. And we spent a lot of time together driving around a vast area of Southern California. He was telling me all about the network marketing, nutritional supplement business, and I was telling him all about the radio broadcasting business. And there was just this epiphany that I had that he needed to work a lot smarter, not harder, to spread his incredibly powerful message. And I said to him, you know, you need to do your show once, and we'll replicate that show and get it on a bunch of other stations, and we'll make each one of those stations partners with us in the sales organization. So we'll give the radio stations that help us spread your message in a very effective way, you know, an incentive, a financial incentive, and so you know, I already had the benefit of a couple of years of people in my own listening area on KSCO just raving about Dr. Wallach and his message, and most importantly, his products that after people tried them actually really worked and didn't create negative side effects.
Well, that's the whole thing. Now, with a minute and a half left here, Michael, how did that work out financially for the radio stations that adopted the network marketing model? How did they do?
Well, different stations did differently. It all, it's a function of the size of the audience and how well the station supports the program. If the station's going to bury the program at 2 in the morning when there aren't too many people listening, they can't expect to do as well as they put the program on after the Rush Limbaugh show, where they have tens of thousands of people in the residual audience listening to Rush.
Right. Yeah, so really it was almost as if, you know, peanut butter and jelly came together when you and Dr. Wallach married the network marketing model with radio. Quite frankly, it was brilliant. And ladies and gentlemen in the listening audience, it was that marriage that spread Dr. Wallach's message of health recovery through medical nutrition like wildfire across this country. And that's why ultimately...
really taking off, Dr. Glidden, because all along the way, I had a hunch that we could apply the business model to other than the obvious alternative health program that Dr. Wallach and you and pharmacist Ben Fuchs do fabulous programs on alternative health. And I figured, why not apply the same business model to a political program or a sports program or an entertainment program, any kind of a program where the audience has a special connection.
You're ahead of your time, Michael Zwirling. That was Michael Zwirling, the man behind the scenes for the quick evolution of the Dead Doctors Don't Lie radio program, which, by the way, is the longest-running health talk radio program in the United States, probably the world, quite frankly. And one of the behind-the-scenes people that brought Dr. Wallach's message to millions of people in a relatively short amount of time. And this is what we're up to. Mr. Zwirling's to be applauded because, you know, years ago, before it was sexy, years ago, before it was socially correct, years ago, before people could even pronounce the word naturopath, years ago when people were looking with disdain down their noses at anybody having to do anything with holistic medicine, thinking that they're all, you know, burnouts from the 60s. Michael Zwirling stepped up. He stepped up to the plate and hit a home run with Dr. Wallach, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now, in keeping with my promise to help people recover their health with science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, we are going straight to the phones today. We're gonna hit it hard right now with Susan from Sacramento, I believe, if she's still with us. Susan, if you're still there, you are live with Dr. Glidden.
Oh, hi, Dr. Glidden. This is not a real deep health issue, although I have two questions, and the second question is, I went to the doctor with a skin issue, and they told me it was idiopathic in nature, and they told me I'm 56, and I've got white spots from getting out in the sun all over, and they said it was something called idiopathic goodate hypomelaноsis.
Yeah,
and I've looked on the internet to try to find everything I can do to cure it, and I'm not convinced that it's idiopathic. I'm thinking it's more gut related.
Yeah, okay, and it's not. So, but I'm glad that you called, and really, I could talk about this for hours. All right. The term idiopathic means the doctor that made the diagnosis was an idiot. He's an idiot. You get it? And I'm choosing my words carefully. Idiopathic means we have no idea what caused it. Oh, thank you so much. You're giving me $700 a month when you don't even need me in medical insurance premiums. And then you come to my office, you take time out from your work, you take time out from your kids, you take time out from your school, you take time out from your life, you come to my office, you sit in the waiting room for half an hour, you come to see me, you sit down on the table, and I don't have the cojones to tell you I have no idea what this condition is. Instead, I call it idiopathic, and you genuflect at my altar, and then you pay me a $700 fee. It's unbelievable what we let these people get away with. And because they use terms like idiopathic and genetic and epigenetic and prolomorphic and endogenous, we genuflect on the other knee in their presence. So you have little white spots on your skin, right?
Right, from being out in the sun.
Okay. So,
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, it's a variant of alopecia. Not alopecia. It's a variant of impetigo. And that is caused by not enough copper, and I'm having a mental block here. The amino acid tyrosine. When your body doesn't have enough of the amino acid tyrosine nor enough of the mineral copper, it can't make skin pigment anymore. It just stops doing it. It runs out of it. Kind of like if your kid's drawing a coloring book and they don't have the black crayon anymore, well, guess what? They can't color the color black and they don't have the crayon. Well, when your body runs out of copper and tyrosine, it can't make pigment. And so the parts of your body that are under stress the most start to fail first. And your body has a number of defense mechanisms, the skin and the hair being the outermost walls of defense. And it's interesting to note that when a healthy person, an otherwise healthy and strong person, starts to develop nutrient deficiencies, this isn't a rule that's set in stone, but the body tends to generate symptoms first on the skin, the hair, or the mucous membranes. So actually, Susan, the persistence of chronic skin symptoms is an indication that your body is in relatively good working order because it's able to generate a symptom on the skin. Now, in your case, this is a simple nutrient deficiency, but tyrosine and copper. But nutrients are like wolves; they always travel in packs. And if you are deficient in copper and tyrosine enough to generate a medical condition that makes you visit a doctor's office, then 5 will get you 10. There's a boatload of other nutrients that your body is running on empty with too. So stick around with me. Don't touch that dial. I'm going to tell you what those are and how to fix it when we come back. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopathic physician, bringing over 2 decades of clinical experience with the application of science-based, clinically verified alternatives to drugs and surgery, therapies that your doctor not only doesn't want you to know about, but doesn't know about himself. And this is the problem in the United States. It's a one-trick pony. Medicine here is a one-trick pony. It's MD-A, MD-B, or MD-C. You can go to the left-hand specialist, you can go to the right-hand specialist, but they're all trained in the same philosophy, the same methodology, and the same treatment strategy, which is the leading cause of death in the United States. MDs are trained in reductionistic pharmaceutical centrist medicine. Reductionistic medicine does not work for chronic disease. It doesn't work. That's the reason that we have such unbelievably poor health here in the United States. It's not because of insurance fraud. It's not because of pharmaceutical profiteering. It's not because of a for-profit medical industry. It's because the therapies delivered by MDs for chronic disease don't work. They do not work. Stop giving them your money. I want you to do some calculations. Just, if it's too big of a step for you to really take, just theoretically do it. I want you to figure out how much you're paying for medical insurance now, and then call a medical insurance carrier, shop around and ask them how much it would cost for a catastrophic health care plan, something that's only going to cover you in case you're in an automobile accident, need to be taken to the hospital. Just that type of a policy. And compare the difference. You're going to be amazed at how much money you're going to be able to save every month. And I want you to use that money that you save to purchase nutritional supplements. because it's nutritional supplements that help you regain your health. It's not a medical insurance policy. Medical insurance policies give you access to a system of medicine that does not work, as is evidenced by Susan from Sacramento. Hundreds of dollars later, maybe thousands, I don't know what her insurance premiums are. The doctor tells her it's idiopathic, which is shorthand for saying, I have no freaking idea what's causing this, but I don't want to look stupid. But I digress. So, Susan, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
I
don't pay for my health coverage. I'm retired, and it's 100% paid for, so I'm fortunate that way, but I'd really appreciate if they could give me the difference.
Who paid for it? Who paid for it?
I'm an ex-state worker, so I worked for them for a long time, and now it's the state, California.
But the state of California was taking money from your paycheck every week to fund the health insurance, correct?
Yes, and I didn't get wise about this, what you're talking about, until just now. So.
Yeah, okay, great. I get it. So, you no use crying over spilt milk.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is that you did pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you did pay for it, and that money, you could have done other things with that money, and God only knows how much money that would have added up to and how much interest that would have added up to and whatever. Yeah. But my point is that there's no use throwing good money after bad to gain access to a system of medicine that doesn't work. This is like a breakthrough. This is a national breakthrough in consciousness that we're talking about. It's exactly the same as the suffragettes saying, hey, you know what? Women are smart enough to vote. We all need to snap out of it collectively and give women the right to vote. We all need to snap out of it collectively and end slavery, because guess what? Slavery's wrong. It's a national consciousness emergence that needs to happen here. And this is why I get so adamant about it. This is why I climb to the rooftops and wave a flag and yell about it. Because we are dying needlessly because we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. And by the way, the MDs, which really gets my goat, have gone out of their way for the last 100 years promoting false propaganda against every other medical profession, telling you and everybody else in this country that the chiropractors, the homeopaths, the osteopaths, the naturopaths are a bunch of back-of-the-bus dangerous quacks. They have lied about us consistently. As a matter of fact, the American Medical Association was found guilty in federal court in 1984 promoting a 10-year slander campaign against the chiropractors. Nobody went to jail. This is the state. It is a war. It is a war for your pocketbook. And I'm here to take back the night. So what would I do to help your body recover from these conditions? Would I order thousands of dollars of expensive testing in order to micromanage your nutritional status and really get a bead on exactly how many amino acids there are in your body, exactly how many vitamins there are in your body? Well, a lot of my colleagues do that, but again, that's a fool's errand. So rather than do expensive testing to micromanage your metabolism, I'm going to fall back on the belief that your body knows what's best. Your body knows how to fix itself. Your body will be able to handle it. So rather than micromanage it, I'm just going to throw everything that your body needs to make itself healthy at the body at a dosage appropriate for your body weight. Then we're going to get out of the way and let your body fix itself. It's that simple. So, Susan, ballpark, how much do you weigh?
About 125 pounds.
Okay. So here's what I would do once a month for 3 months. Now, at 125 pounds, you're going to realize results within the first 2 weeks, and they're going to build on themselves like a snowball rolling down a hill, and you're going to feel better and better and better. But give the whole program 90 days. So here's what I would do. Per month, I would purchase one Healthy Start pack,
Okay.
1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, 3 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and 1 bottle of HGH. Now, the HGH will give you the tyrosine. The selenium will give you the copper because there's copper in there in a perfect balance. And the Healthy Start Pack will give you the rest of the nutrients that your body needs to round this out. Also, be advised that it would be prudent for you and everybody else on this planet to stop eating 10 foods that are harmful to human health. And you can download that list for free at fireyourmdnow.com. Right there on the front page, just click on the link that says good food, bad food. A little PDF will pop up on your computer, print it out, and there are 10 foods listed there that are bad for you. I want you to remove those foods from your diet as soon as is humanly possible. And listen, just removing those foods, no supplementation at all, no yoga, no exercise, no nothing. Just removing those foods will make a noticeable difference in how you feel. Now, when you add the diet to the supplementation, you're going to be superwoman within 90 days. You're going to love how you feel. And I want you to call me back and give me a testimonial once this train comes rolling into town, okay?
I sure will. So
all right, Susan.
When I get to about 3 months, I'll be on maintenance. Right now, I'm with your dosage here. I'm just starting to get to fill up.
Yes, it's therapeutic. That's correct. We start always with a therapeutic dose.
Okay.
Then once it generates results, we kick it back to a maintenance dose. And for you, a maintenance dose would be 1 healthy start pack, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of selenium a month.
Okay, but no HGH.
You don't need that as a maintenance dose, no.
Okay.
Okay? All right, Susan, you're the greatest. Thanks for calling, and thanks for, keeping your mouth shut while I'm on my rant and, helping me in that regard. Dave from Canada is next. Oh, Canada. Dave with restless leg syndrome. You are live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for calling.
Hi, Doctor. I'd like to thank you for everything that you do and to opening my eyes about what the allopathic medical profession is doing to the world. It's just outrageous and scandalous. But at any rate, I have several friends and family members that have this restless leg syndrome, and I'd like to get on top of it for them.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for your kind words, and you're welcome. We're all in this together. Quite frankly, like Benjamin Franklin said, gentlemen, we should all hang together, because if we don't, most assuredly we will hang alone.
Amen.
Amen. So restless leg syndrome is a simple calcium and magnesium deficiency. That's all that it is. Again, if you burn somebody, if you cremate a dead body, it's either 1/5 or 1/3. In any event, it's a lot. A big percentage of the ash that's left over is calcium. Your body has massive needs for calcium. As a matter of fact, there are almost 300 diseases which are caused by not enough calcium and magnesium. It is a gigantic player on the metabolic field of the human body. And one of the things that calcium and its component magnesium do is they regulate the contraction and the relaxation of muscles. Now, if it's a muscle in your leg and you don't have enough calcium and magnesium, you get restless leg syndrome because your body doesn't have the stuff to get it right. It can't make the muscle relax. It can't make the muscle tense. It can't make the muscle relax. It can't make the muscle tense. The signal gets confused. It's kind of like a record that's skipping, right? And the reason that it's skipping is because it's confused metabolically, not because it has a bad gene, not because it's been cursed by God, not because it has a voodoo curse. The only reason it's having trouble is because you went to the wrong doctor, right? That's the reason. It's a calcium and magnesium deficiency. Now, calcium and magnesium are very interesting things to talk about. And, I've given lectures about this very subject that I'm going to try to nail in 1 minute here. I've given a 1-hour lecture about this subject. The way that nutritional supplements are manufactured in the United States, especially with calcium, makes it very difficult for your body to absorb the requisite amount of calcium that it needs with a normal bottle of calcium at the health food store. As an example, if you were to purchase a bottle of calcium at the health food store that said calcium carbonate, 500 milligrams per capsule, and the RDA is around 1,200 milligrams, so you think that if you take 3, you're going to be good. That's 1,500 milligrams. You'll have a couple of hundred extra. Well, not so much, because in one 500 milligram capsule of calcium carbonate, there's about 200 milligrams of calcium, 300 milligrams of carbonate. But your body needs to clip that molecule in two and liberate the calcium, in order to give you calcium. But in order to clip that molecule in two, to separate the calcium from the carbonate, it needs strong stomach acid. And there's a little catch-22 here, because one of the things your body needs to have strong stomach acid is calcium. So if you're calcium deficient, and you are if you have restless leg syndrome, your stomach acid has to be weak. So unless you wash your calcium supplement down with lemon juice or lemonade or orange juice or some vinegar, your body's probably not going to be able to chop that molecule in two, and you just can't use it. You get zero calcium from it. But even if you were able to chop that molecule in two and liberate the 200 milligrams of calcium, calcium carbonate is approximately 15 to 20% absorbable, which means in order to meet the RDA of 1,200 milligrams, you'd need 30 or 40 capsules a day. You know, most people take 3. And this is why last year we spent $70 billion on vitamin supplements, and everybody's still sick. Now, Dr. Wallach's Longevity Calcium is 95% absorbable, and it's in liquid form. It is the best calcium supplement I have ever seen, and I have seen a lot of calcium supplements. I've seen calcium made by companies you don't even know exist because they only sell to physicians. There's a lot of vitamin companies in the world that only sell to physicians, and, you know, they make some pretty good stuff, but Dr. Wallach's stuff is better. So the recommendation for this is simple, Dave. It's one healthy start pack, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals, and 1 bottle of Cal Toddy per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And you get people on board with those supplements in that dosage schedule. The restless legs will disappear. Life is good with Dr. Wallach and Longevity. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, talking about all things holistic, all things naturopathic, science-based, clinically verified alternatives to MD-directed insanity. And I am choosing my words correctly. There's nothing wrong with drugs. Drugs are like guns. It's how they're used. When MDs use drugs, they completely screw it up because they are using drugs reductionistically to try to treat a holistic system. You know, it's like throwing a wrench into a machine made of 1,000 gears and then being amazed when something goes wrong. And something always goes wrong. There's always side effects, right? Like the fella said, from the proper perspective, everything makes sense, and hopefully we can help Kyle in Texas with the proper perspective. Kyle, you are live with Dr. Glidden. Thanks for calling.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Very good, thanks. What's going on?
Well, I've been dealing with Crohn's disease for the past 6 years and taken everything from Remicade to now currently I just do injection of Humira once a week. But a family friend of ours told us about the longevity and about you and Dr. Wallach, and so my wife and I started listening and, you know, really got a new viewpoint on things. So I just wanted to see kind of what you would suggest to combat the Crohn's disease. Okay,
great. Thanks for calling. I'm glad that you called because that's a nasty, debilitating illness. There's no end in sight. The MDs have nothing for this except surgery and anti-inflammatories and surgery and anti-inflammatories, right? So from our point of view, Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel, celiac disease, and ulcerative colitis are all different arms of the same octopus. And the root cause there is the chronic, unwitting, consistent consumption of wheat, barley, rye, and oats. So on my website, fireyourmdnow.com, there's a free video on the front page. It's a little link. It doesn't look like a normal, you know, little YouTube video thing. It's just a little link. It says, what's it say? It's not good food, bad food. It is, I'll think about it in a minute. I'm having a senior moment here. In any event, there's a link in the knowledge section on the front page of my website that tells you all about why wheat, barley, rye, and oats are bad for you. It's a little 16-minute video. Watch it. It's a couple of links above the good food, bad food link. And if you watch that, it will explain the biochemistry and the physiology behind why wheat, barley, rye, and oats are the culprits here. All right. So one of the things that you need to do yesterday is just eliminate gluten and oatmeal from your diet. So no more wheat, no more barley, no more rye, no more oats. And you have to do that, or none of the other interventions will work. We have to stop picking the scab, so to speak, or it's not going to work. So once you've eliminated those foods from your diet, then the next thing that we need to do is we need to slowly, cautiously introduce into your digestive tract, which is in trouble, nutrients which support and promote your digestive tract's ability to fix itself. It's really quite simple. If you had a broken bone, we'd give you bone nutrients. If you have a gastrointestinal problem, we give you gastrointestinal nutrients. And the best way to do this, Kyle, simple and straightforward, is 1 healthy digestion pack plus 1 bottle of plant minerals, plant-derived minerals, plus 1 bottle of a product called Maqui Plus, M-A-Q-U-I Plus, per 100 pounds of body weight per month. If you do that, especially the Maqui Plus, I might even get a couple of bottles of the Maqui Plus, because the Maqui Plus has aloe vera in it and a superfruit made from the Maqui berry, which is loaded with antioxidants. It is loaded with antioxidants, which are very protective to your gut membrane. Now, I would also get some colloidal silver, believe it or not. I would get some colloidal silver, and I would take a half a dropper full of colloidal silver 3 times a day for 4 weeks. A half a dropper full of colloidal silver 3 times a day for 4 weeks. Don't worry, that dosage isn't going to make your skin turn blue. It's going to facilitate the healing of the tissue in the gut. If you do the healthy digestive pack, the plant minerals, the Maqui Plus, and the colloidal silver, and you remove those bad foods from your diet, the gluten, you're going to start to feel better in about 21-day increments. Every 3 weeks, things should get better and better and better. And give this program 90 days, 90 days, before you judge it. But most people with Crohn's disease feel better within the first 2 weeks. So give it a try and call me back with a report. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for listening. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, and I'll see you tomorrow.